Good afternoon. They promised us a very hot weekend this weekend, but I think something's gone wrong up above with the big fella, and it's absolutely tippling it down here at Don Valley. Anyway, we're at the Don Valley Stadium. It's Super League Round 11, Saturday the 20th of June. Huey Micron Video bringing you all the action from this clash between the Saints and the Eagles. Saints looking for the third consecutive win in Super League 3 after performances against Castleford away, 34-12 win, London at home, a 58-6 win, a devastating 10-try and 9-goal demolition of the Broncos. The Sheffield Eagles, they're looking for the first home win of the season. They had an 18-apiece draw at Wilderspool last Sunday. That was the first point out of the last 4 outings. They've only won 2. Those both being away, Huddersfield away 48-18 and Salford away 28-8. So we welcome you to the impressive Don Valley Stadium. We're on the open side this time, obviously to try and get a better spec, but as I say, it's open, no cover, and we're under a little bit of pressure. My name's Ron Hoof. Joining me this afternoon is Ian Proctor, the Sky statistician. And Ian, I know you've been watching the Eagles, and we must say the Eagles, the Challenge Cup winners, beating the mighty Wigan at Wembley earlier on in the year, and they're looking for a home win, and I think they're going to find it hard today, Ian.
Yes, we've got the 2 cup winners of the last 3 seasons, haven't we, Ron? Saints won it twice, then of course Sheffield took it off them this season, or didn't exactly take it off them, but succeeded them as Wembley winners, and did so in great style against Wigan, of course. They've not done much in the league, as we know. They've only won twice, as you say. They've not won at home this season, hoping to break the duck against Saints. But judging by the way Saints played against London, we all saw that last week, as you say. 10 tries, magnificent football, moving the ball wide, Sullivan a hat-trick. We're expecting similar things from Saints today. But I don't think anybody will underestimate Sheffield ever again after what happened at Wembley.
Yes, you're right, Ian. I don't think anybody outside Sheffield had a bet against Wigan lifting the cup. Anyway, while we've got away now, the action's underway. Sheffield have first possession. Their side, Savatabua, Sodji, Morganson Senior and Stott, Watson and Vasilikopoulos, the half-back pairing, with Broadbent, Stevens and Malloy in the front row, Carr, Shaw and Doyle the back 3, Tewa, Wood, Turner and Lawton on the bench. Watson, the man in possession, and bumped to the earth by Martin. But referee Presley says that the Saints were offside, and the Saints side for this afternoon's clash, Aitchison at full-back, 2 Smiths, Newlove and Sullivan, Martin and Long, still the half-back pairing, with Goldspink, Cunningham, Perlerini in the front row, Julian O'Neill with a broken nose, having it operated on this week, next week I should say. Chris Joynt, Paul Davidson and Carl Hammond in the back row, with Bobby Golding, Ian Pickavance, Andy Haig and Paul Anderson on the bench. Once again, it's the Eagles. Drop-off ball, running it through there. Darren Shaw, the man going through, well taken down by captain Chris Joynt. Once again, the Eagles move it to the left, and they're always a difficult proposition on their home turf, are the Eagles, even though they haven't won this season, as we've both said to you. But I'm sure that John Keir will have his side G'd up, but the Saints, with that good performance last week, will certainly be G'd up as well. A tester now, it comes over for Sullivan. Can he take it? Well, it's knocked down. The Eagles have the possession. The referee has waved the tackle count clean, and Savatabua going from short range, looking to drive in. Saints defence going to be tested early in this game. Approaching 2 minutes gone. Short ball there, Broadbent, the captain. And the Drummers away on the far side. We're on this uncovered and open side here, but it doesn't have echo round. And if I had my way, she'd have it surgically removed. But that's how it goes. Saints are being tested. Eagles running it hard. Once again, Darren Shaw within 5 metres of the Saints line. This is the last one of the sequence. Eagles again. Little grubber kick through, too deep though. 2 good sets of 6 there, Ian, and just too much beef on that one at the end.
Yes, obviously Sheffield missing Mark Aston, who's been out for a few weeks now, and it could be out for a while longer yet, and they're having to play Marcus Vasilakopoulos in the scrum half position, and he's taking the tactical kicking role. Put one high kick up there, which caused a bit of confusion for Saints, but the second kick, the grubber, too much depth on that, and that didn't cause Saints any problems. So we can see now what Saints can do with their first real touch of the football.
Yes, and it's Goldspink that was going through and driven back two Sheffield tacklers, but they forced him right back. Saints move it on the short side, Cunningham, then he puts it back in field. Just inside their own territory, Hammond. Joint brought down virtually on the centre spot. Quite warm, even though it's raining. Hammond again. Newlove, the big man, bursts through. Attracts a lot of attention every time he gets hold of that rugby ball, doesn't he? Tommy Martin puts it in the air. Good hanging kick, well, it's loose. Savatabua takes it. Saints judged offside by referee Presley. And Damien Smith on the far side, just having a word with him, but he must have said you were offside from that Tommy Martin kick. But it's Sheffield now, fine touch, just over the halfway line.
Yes, Ron, they've had the first two penalties of Sheffield, so that's given them a chance to clear the lines nice and easily as Saints have put pressure on them. The high kick from Tommy Martin there, someone adjudged to have been offside, I think, was the decision, but the problem Saints are having is building up any momentum at the moment. And two penalties against them haven't done them any favours as Steve Malloy goes through now, and he's taken by Paul Aitchison.
Yes, good run by the Eagles, putting the pressure on the Saints. Once again, Watson, short ball, he's lost control of the ball. 4 points of begging there. Dearie me. The man just couldn't control the ball. As I said, we're 3 days camel ride away from the pitch here. I just couldn't pick out who that was.
Paul Carr, the Australian, failing to catch that ball, Ron.
Yes, thanks, Ian. Great forward as well, Paul Carr. Real rough and tough, but a try there, a begging, and the Saints will just have to watch that. Joint, Newlove breaks away, he's up this left flank, Sullivan's with him, he's not going to need him. Newlove there, great try by the big Yorkshire fella. Touches down, 10 metres in from the touchline. Well, that's how it should be, breaking out of defence into attack. But oh, what it could have been. Just at the other end, only a minute or so earlier. Sullivan was with Newlove there as he came through. He was actually impeded in the end, Sullivan, but it didn't matter. The big fella had got through there. And Paul Newlove in for his 8th try of the season and his 7th in Super League. This big fella is just hitting a bit of form there, Ian, and once he got hold of that ball, it was there was nobody going to stop him, was there?
Tremendous centre play from Paul Newlove. That's why he's regarded as one of the best in the world and why he cost St Helens a record fee, of course, from Bradford. He beat Willie Morganson, all ends up there. He's an Australian centre who played for Brisbane Broncos a few years ago but never quite got into the first grade side on a regular basis at Brisbane. But Newlove beat him easily there with tremendous pace and power. That's why he's one of the best in the game, and continuing on the form he showed last week in the defeat of London, and Saints will be delighted with that because once Newlove's in form, usually sees Anthony Sullivan in good form as well. And this is Sean Long now taking the kick, which should put Saints into a 6-0 lead. Comes left-footed, hits the post and goes over, so that's a bit of luck that Saints might just be glad of in the end. 6 points to 0, Sheffield up against it again on the home ground.
Yes, Sean Long pops it over, he's 19th of the season. And obviously, I think he was watching Yestin Harris last night, wasn't he? It wasn't so bad, that, was it? Hit the crossbar, hit the upright, and went in. Only one upright, though. That was a poor effort. So, 6 points to 0. Saints in the lead. We all know what could happen. I think Saints, well, we've had the lead here numerous times before, but the Eagles have showed great character and come back. Saints penalised for offside again, so we're not going to get much out of referee Presley this afternoon. Another penalty. And the Eagles over to the main stand side. Those spectators getting behind them. Very poor league form, second from the bottom of the table. I think they are the Eagles. Saints in 4th position. Malloy driving it downfield. Davidson, Perolini, Cunningham in at the tackle. Once again, ball control, failing the Eagles. The tackle count, wave clean, and Sean Long juggles with it, moves it over to that far side, Damien Smith. The Eagles forced to line up. Once again, Chris Smith, bobbing, weaving, drives towards the 20-metre line. Saints are spreading it, running the angle. Sean Long looking for the gap, drives it across. Sullivan comes in. Sullivan looking for the gap again. 3 tries last week, and he's brought down 15 metres short. Joint, Goldspink, the big man. Well, 25 metres short, I do beg your pardon. Just one line too many there, not reading it. Davidson, short ball from Long. Last one of the sequence. Long with the drop goal. The referee raises his arm. Sean Long pops it over. First drop goal of the season for him. Bobby Golding's kicked the other one that we've had this season. So 8 minutes gone. A 1-pointer. You never know, Ian, do you? Could be crucial.
Yeah, 7 points, always a crucial margin in rugby league these days. Obviously, it's a try and a goal and a drop goal. It puts that team more than a score and a half away because they've got to get a try and a goal and they're still not in the game. That's the problem that Sheffield Eagles have at the moment. But there's no doubt about it, Saints are playing well, despite the fact they conceded the first 3 penalties of this game, and they're going very well here, leading 7 points to 0 on a ground where they've had the problems in the past.
So the Saints get the ball away, restart play, and we've actually ventured a little bit nearer to the pitch, only about 6 foot. And it's the Eagles that have the possession. Broadbent, the captain. On the bench today for them is Dale Lawton, usually in the starting lineup. Saints missing Paul Sculthorpe with a bruised sternum, a recurrence of a bruised sternum, and Julian O'Neill, as I said before, he's having a broken nose fixed next week. Gareth Stevens restarts, gets us underway. Steve Malloy again. Stevens attacked in half on the short side, driving at Newlove and Sullivan. Tommy Martin covering there as well. Once again, the Eagles move it centre field where the ball's dropped down. Padolini picks it up, slipped it to Aitchison. The big fullback drives it 40 metres away from his own try line. Sullivan tries to scamper away. Referee Presley urging the Eagles to get back on side. Had an infringement at the play of the ball. The Saints spectators there, Ian, I think, crying that the Eagles were offside. He's pegged the Saints a couple of times.
Yes, a few ironic cheers from the St.Helens fans over on that far side. They get the first penalty of the game, 3-1 the count now, but it gives Saints a great foothold here in the Sheffield half. And as you say, lacking Paul Sculthorpe and of course Julian O'Neill. I think it's the first game he's missed in Super League in 2 seasons, so he's a big loss for Saints. But of course Goldspink and Perolini, 2 good props in their own right.
Yes, you're right there, they are 2 good props. Perolini had his fair share of injuries. Goldspink, we've got to see the best of him. He's a solid forward, he's a good runner. And into passing there's Perolini, the Terminator, the big Western Samoan, driving for the line, 5 metres short. Once again, it's from dummy half. The forward pass going to be ruled. Sean Long slipping that short ball there to Brett Goldspink. And referee Presley, as far as Saints are concerned, in the right place at the wrong time. Scrum down, head and feed to the Eagles, but they're in their own 10, they're in their own 20 now. Nearly broke through, the Saints cover defence. I'll have to tighten up. Good running on the far side. And once again, Sodji coming over, infield. The dummy runner there, and Broadbent takes the ball up. Oh, lovely ball there. Great running. Stott, Linton Stott. Local lad, well, local lad for me, Linton Stott, Newton Lee Willer's lad, over here at at Sheffield for a while, been on the transfer list, just has to come off it. Last one of the sequence, 20 metres from the Saints line. High ball, Vasilakopoulos puts it in the air. Oh, well taken, Dirk. Superb taken on the far side. And once again, the Saints build up, the Eagles are pressing, but it's Kieran Cunningham. Bounces off one, we're looking for support. Got to support the man with the ball, the Saints. Cunningham again, devastating, coming into full fitness. As Paul Davidson, he drives it away. Martin, drop-off ball inside to captain Chris Joynt, 13 minutes gone. 7 points to 0 in favour of the Saints. From acting half, Chris Smith. Attracts 3 Eagles, last tackle of the sequence. Martin again, chip kick through, catches it on the full. Martin looking for support, so Sullivan's there. Sullivan over for the try, superb try by Anthony Sullivan on the 6th tackle. Saints run the power play, and it's this man Martin. 13 minutes gone, and we know Sean McRae, full of praises for Tommy Martin. He is the complete footballer, 2 knee constructions, problems right, left and centre, but the man's fought back after years of injury, and he is a superb player. He took that on the 6th tackle, Ian, played the power play, chipped it through, took it on the full, looking for support. Sullivan was with him, 4 points to the Saints. Yes, Sean Long, similar position to the last one. Let's see if he can get it plumb this time. No in-offs. But 11-0. Superb backing up by the Saints there, as we know they can do. The only trouble with the Saints, we're a little inconsistent week to week. We lose form, and Sean Long just allowing too much for it and putting it to the left of the sticks. They promised us a very warm day. It is warm, it is really warm. Now, obviously, we've had rain, but we're getting there, and I'm sure that the water carriers will be used a lot of times today. Saints lost this corresponding fixture last season, Super League 2, 14 points to 12 they went down, having won at Nosey Road 32-12. Well, the Saints kick off again, and Eagles have the possession. And oh, how different it could have been, Ian, really, when you think that Carr put that ball down early on and then the Saints hit back.
Yes, uncharacteristic errors sometimes by Sheffield Eagles, as you say. Paul Carr dropped one, and we saw Paul Broadbent drop one further on down here, and he's one of the prop forwards who has a very low error count. That's why he's in the Great Britain team and why he's rated so highly by so many people. Here he is now, Paul Broadbent, driving it up into the heart of the Saints pack, looking to get the ball away. Does that now. That's Darren Shaw. He finds support in Sova-Tabua, and Sheffield trying to move the ball, which is the best way they can attack Saints. Retaliate by playing the kind of football that we see so often from Saints themselves. The bomb from Vasilakopoulos, it's high. Aitchison's there. Keith Senior's leapt for it. Is it going to be a try? I think Sheffield Eagles have got a try through fullback. Weseli Sava-Tabua, the Fijian, has scored and put Sheffield Eagles back in this game at 11 points to 4, with the conversion to come. And this fullback, he wasn't rated, I don't think, by too many people until a year ago. John Keir says he regards it as one of his best achievements in football to get this fella playing to the standard he is doing. And we saw there why he's rated so highly. Great try for Sheffield. Ron, they've had the problems with the goal kicking this season of Sheffield because Mark Aston's been injured, as I've said. They tried Vasilakopoulos. He missed with a quite kickable conversion attempt at Warrington last week, and missed it, which cost them 2 points. They finished up drawing the game 18 apiece. So they're trying Willie Morganson now, and I don't think he's ever kicked a goal for Sheffield before. He's an Australian centre, as I've said, played for the Brisbane Broncos, and he played up the coast as well. Here he comes now. This would put the Eagles back in this game with a vengeance. 6 points to 11. So that missed conversion by Sean Long might just prove costly in the end, because the 13-point lead would have been valuable. Now they're being pegged back to 5, Saints.
Yes, so as I said to you before, Ian Proctor joining me, and he's a mine of information. As you know, he's the statistical man for the Sky broadcasts. So what he doesn't know about rugby league isn't worth knowing. But that's a bad kick-off after the Eagles had scored. Right out on the full, gives Saints a penalty. and good forward momentum here. A good kick into touch, good distance. Will do the Saints' cause no good, but they're tapping it from the centre. Perolini, well taken down, and Saints move it right. Paul Davidson, speed merchant. I think he's about the third fastest on the Saints' books. He certainly can motor when he's put through a gap. Sean Long, short ball, drop-off ball there. Goldspink, the man that was clattered. Once again, the Saints move it right. Aitchison taken down, 20 metres out. Saints are very in the play, moving right, left. Oh, short ball there. Now that looked forward from our angle. It certainly did. The referee, hell, he's given it. It took him time to think about that. It could have been done for offside, that, Ian, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think he's right there in that decision with the forward pass, and Saints having problems really getting Paul Davidson reaching the standards he reached last year with Oldham. He got 13 tries for Oldham, which is the best he's ever produced in his career, and he's scored a lot of tries from close range, coming off short passes on the inside, but that one a little bit forward and didn't quite work for Saints. So the back facing Sheffield now with Keith Senior, a man who's in a rich vein of form. I think he's scored in his last 7.
Well, we'll have to make sure that he doesn't score today, won't we, Ian? As far as the Saints are concerned, he is a great try-scoring machine. He's a senior, he's a big lad, he takes some stopping, and you've always got to be aware of a short left or short right, haven't you, at certain occasions. Saints pegged once again for offside, annoying the Saints spectators that's made the journey over the Pennines here this afternoon. Vasilakopoulos finds touch, 30 metres out. Broadbent, the Sheffield captain. 8 to 10 metres forward momentum. Once again, the Eagles build up. Bobby Golding limbering up on the touchline, ready to be introduced into the action as the Eagles drive again. Sodji coming in off the wing. And from short range, the Eagles are trying to plunder one. They trail by 5, 11 points to 6, the ball's loose. The referee penalises the Saints. Captain Chris Joynt going over and having a word with referee Presley. A chance for 2 points for the Eagles. Did he say the ball was reaped out there, Ian? I just couldn't understand his signal.
No, I didn't see the signal myself, Ron, and it's a bit far from here to quite see what happened, but seemed to be some sort of a problem at the play of the ball area, and that's what's concerning Chris Joynt. That's the reason why he's gone over to have a word with the referee. Sheffield deciding to go for the 2 points, which would reduce it to 3, and Morganson, the man entrusted with the goal-kicking duties, as I say. But it is a problem area for Sheffield, is goal-kicking. As I say, Aston missing much of the season since Wembley, when he got the Lance Todd Trophy. And that seems to be a thing that seems to be a bit of bogey on Lance Todd Trophy winners. Ron, you'll probably remember that Tommy Martin got the award the year before, and of course he missed the rest of the season almost a week after that, getting injured playing for Ireland. So Lance Todd Trophy is the greatest honour, individual honour in the game, as far as we can see, and sometimes it doesn't then follow suit that the player will get the best of good fortune. But let's hope that Mark Aston's back soon, just as Tommy Martin is now for Saints. We'll just go through this one. It's Willie Morganson, right-footed on the 20-metre mark. He's missed that one, and as I say, that's the reason why Sheffield are not being able to get away from the foot of the table. And as you said, Ron, if they lose this one today, and Huddersfield manage to beat Hull tomorrow in the battle of the promoted teams, Sheffield Eagles will find themselves at the foot of the Super League 7 weeks after winning the Challenge Cup, which is almost unbelievable.
Yes, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it, that, as you say, winning the Challenge Cup, beating Wigan. Nobody outside of Sheffield had a bet against Wigan not winning it again. 1 to 14 on were the Wigan Warriors. Sheffield were 13 to 2. The ball's loose, the Saints have it. Well, the referee's going to blow up and give the first knock on, I think, which must be head and feed to the Saints. But if that's the case, why not play on? Why not play advantage? I don't know. The referee's down there, he's making the decisions. Sean Long feeds the scrum. Aitchison links up. Drop-off ball there to Damien Smith coming in field. The Saints are 35 metres out, and they've got to attack quickly. Paul Davidson receives the ball from Paul Aitchison. Once again, Aitchison steps up at dummy half. Goldspink, long, inside pass, Perolini. Martin was coming through, but a good clamp tackle by Broadbent. Carl Hammond offers the dummy. Oh, Hammond again. Superb footballer, Hammond, but he's brought into touch. This time, lovely pair of hands. Offers the ball there. The Eagles half took the dummy, drove it over here, but good tackling in the end, forced him into touch. Scrum down, head and feed to the Eagles. Great bit of attacking play by the Saints, Ian, and the Eagles now, they seem to be just finding it hard to get out of their own 20 when they're pegged here.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see when Sean decides to use his substitutes this afternoon. I've seen Bobby Goulding warming up once or twice, and now Paul Anderson seems to be getting ready as well. And of course, when Bobby gets injected into this game, we shall see what sort of influence he can have on it, because we know he's a player who's very proud and he's not been happy about being left out for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He'll want to prove a point, just as he did last week with the game against London when he put 2 superb kicks in, which brought tries virtually off his own bat. So we'll see when Bobby comes on, and when he does, I'm sure we can expect fireworks.
Oh yes, obviously the former St. Helens captain, should we say, and there's the current captain, Chris Joint, 20 metres from the line. Sheffield had knocked on and they won the ball from the scrum. Goldspink was fed there, went through, and he lost the possession. The Eagles have it back now. It's brightening up a bit here now at Don Valley. 25 minutes have gone. The score still 11 points to 6 in favour of the visitors, the Saints. Bobby Goulding now is going to be introduced. Gareth Stevens offering the ball and then releasing it. The Eagles having the possession. Stevens again, sees the gap, drives it through. 5 metre burst. Support coming through there was Linton Stott, the wingman, coming in looking for action. The Eagles again drive it within 20 metres of the Saints line. It's the last tackle of the sequence. Crossfield kick, taken well there by the Saints player. He took it well. Senior was in, one of the tacklers, but Aitchison comes away with it. Watson, the man that put that crossfield kick. Chris Smith. And Watson again, looking to get half a hand on the ball. The Eagles penalised over on the right. You know, Ian, it's always, well, I don't know why. The actions, they're moving the opposite way, I say, and the referee pegs them for offside on the opposite side, but Bobby Goulding's on.
Yes, Saints will be happy with the penalty. I know it could have played advantage, as you say, Ron, but they'll be happy with the penalty. It's got them 25, 30 cheap yards, and Bobby's on the field, as you say, but it's sad to see Tommy limping off again, Tommy Martin. We'll see what influence Bobby can have on this game as Paul Davidson turns, tries to unload. Very nearly gave that ball away to Keith Senior, and Saints have got to try and control the football better, because a game that looked to be theirs for the taking is now turning out to be a bit of a battle.
It's always a battle here, Ian, but I know what you're saying. Bobby Goulding will be in the scrum half berth, and Sean Long will revert to the standoff, with Tommy Martin being replaced, as he said, limping off. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. Maybe just a twist, we hope so anyway. Last one of the sequence for the Saints, Chris Joint taken down. Now it's Bobby Goulding again, reverse angle kick. Long's chasing it. The man's had to ground it in the in-goal area.
Was reading that situation, otherwise Sheffield could have let their third try in, but it's his kicking game particularly which will make Bobby Goulding dangerous to Sheffield this afternoon.
Perolini, the big man, takes it up inside the Sheffield 20. Saints move it left. Bobby Goulding again, just took his eye off the ball. Quickly picked up by Dave Watson, and the Eagles being dragged towards the touchline. Well, that's good cover defence, that. And obviously that mistake by Bobby Goulding has been remedied with Morganson being forced into touch just inside the 20. Sheffield had the possession from the slip ball, and now it's going to be head and feed to the Saints. So Broadbent, the captain, comes off. For the Eagles, Saints move it over on the far side. Sean Long, well, Sister Duffy passed there to Chris Smith. Davidson into the Eagles 20. Long feeding him that short ball, obviously something that's been rehearsed in training. And Goldspink plundering into the Eagles 10-metre line, 10-metre area. Once again, Hammond. Bullet past to Golding, short ball there, quick hands. That was knocked down by an Eagle. That's going to be head and feed to the Saints in the scrum that will result. Yes, the touch judge there just indicating. But that was lovely, crisp, quick hands there, trying to plunder a hole in the Eagles' defence. And knocked down by one of the Eagles' defenders. Bobby Golding feeds it. Sean Long, short ball there. Damien Smith coming in off the centre berth. Well, the ball knocked forward at the play of the ball. Paul Aitchison at the acting half-back went up to get things quickly underway. And knocked it forward. Head and feet to the Eagles. Plenty of mistakes here. I mean, obviously we have had a bit of rain. Not a great deal, but it's probably just made it that little bit slippy.
Yeah, Saints always a side that prepared to throw the ball about. That's what's made the reputation down the years. Always prepared to play football, which makes them such an attractive side to watch. But I think Sean would like it a little bit better if they steadied the ship a little bit, got more points on the board before they started trying to play football on the second and third tackle, which is costing them errors, as you say, Ron. But Sheffield, as you said, Paul Broadbent's gone off and they brought a fella called Dale Lawton on, who's been chased by Wigan recently. It just shows you the strength of the front row positions at Sheffield. They've got Lawton, Broadbent and Malloy, three players all of potential international standing who can all rotate. Now Saints have had to kick that ball dead, Aitchison, and that's going to put pressure on them. And I don't know if you saw the Australian Rugby League this week we saw, and I noticed Brian Smith, the former Bradford coach, he was stating how important it is if you can. You've got to kick in your own in-goal area to try and get that ball over the line. It saves the fact that you have to drop out and then face another 6 tackles. But Saints have had to do that, and I don't think Sean will be too pleased with the fact that Paul Aitchison didn't try to pick that ball up and run it out.
Well, it looked obviously right in the opposite corner from where we are. It looked an awkward bouncing ball, and at the end of the day I think it's safety first. But that's how it goes, isn't it, when Sodji's hurrying down on you. And he's no mean try scorer, Sodji, is he? Many years up at Hull KR, and I think it was Hull KR, wasn't it, Ian? And been here at the Eagles for a few years. But the Eagles have the ball again, moving it over to the left. Vasiliopoulos, I think it is, changing direction. Morganson, throwing it about. There's no danger about that. Throwing it about, one pass too many on this occasion, and the Saints benefit from it. Have to get up and play it quickly. Penetration going to be the order of the day. But good tackling by the Eagles. One thing, well, the ball's come out, and that's going to be a penalty to the Saints. One thing we can say probably with John Keir, he got the tackling right, and they've showed the commitment really, but when it comes to league, Ian, they just haven't put it into practice, have they?
No, they've been hard hit by injuries, to be fair to Sheffield Eagles. They've had more injuries probably than most, and they haven't got the depth of squad that most teams have either. But John has never moaned about that. He's just got on with the job when he keeps saying that, you know, this week or that next week they've got to get the points on the board, otherwise the top 5 chances are slipping away. And I think really this is the last chance today, because they took a point at Warrington when they wanted to. And but we are seeing this season with the top 5 playoff, I think, teams now in mid-table really having a go for it, and that's the interesting thing. The season's not gone for them yet, and Saints of course battling for a higher place as they can get inside that top 5. Top 3 of course means you get 2 chances in the playoff situation, but we've seen another error there, and I think these errors are creeping up for both these coaches. They won't be happy, and as we approach sort of half-time, I think the Saints will be quite happy to settle for this lead of 11-6, but they might not have to do that, because this is a break for Sheffield Eagles. It looks like Linton Stott to me who's made the charge, and on the halfway line.
Yes, a great break by the Eagles was Linton Stott. Ian, well picked out now with Savatabua, and the Saints tackling. They've got to get it together. Sean McRae's just over to our left, and he's ranting and raving down the intercom there, and out loud as well. Obviously he wants the tackling more firm round the legs as Lawton drives it through. Once again Stevens a dummy half. It's a loose ball, but it's well tidied up. Paul Carr, he gets it away. It's the last one of the sequence now. Will the Eagles run it? Will they put the power play to chip kick through? It was chipped through. The Saints gather the ball. But they're being tested. Damien Smith, who releases it to Chris Smith. And Chris Smith comes crossfield. Finally clattered. Morganson in there. Looked a little bit of jiggery-pokery there with the knees going in, but Morganson comes in again. Brings Newlove down. Sullivan at dummy half. Joint the captain. Saints are making headway, but it's only gradually. 25 metres away from their own line. An interference at the play of the ball. Dale Lawton, the man penalised. Bobby Golding takes it quick. It's just as well. It was a poor kick that by Bobby Golding. Well, he's given a scrum down with an Eagles feed. I thought he was going to stop him and bring him back, but the referee there has ordered a scrummy and he's penalised Golding there for taking the penalty too quick, I think.
I think somebody was standing in an offside position. I don't think Sean McRae is very happy about that. To my left here, he's very, very annoyed about the fact that Saints have kicked away a chance to get some footage in the Sheffield half. And here comes Sheffield now with Keith Senior just approaching half-time. 11 points to 6 to trail, but Sova Tabua, he's in the action. He's having another go, and Sheffield will fancy their chances here of getting points on the board. And well, who would have predicted when Saints led 11-0 that Sheffield might have the chance to go in at half-time in the lead?
Yes, but they're putting pressure on. They know that Saints don't really do all that well here at Don Valley. Darren Turner, he's just slipped on as a substitution in the 34th minute. And Rod Doyle, Stevens, along the line now, short ball. Good ball from Dave Watson. Put through there. Savatabua at dummy half. Oh, that's a knock on. Sodji knocks it forward, dear me. They had it on a plate there. The senior was missed out. It went to Sodji on the left flank. Saints turn it over. Goldspink puts the ball back. Got to respect the football. Both sides are guilty of not doing that, but it has been raining. It could be possibly slippy out there. Quite lush turf at the Don Valley. And the Eagles penalised for offside. Bobby Golding finds touch. 10 metres inside the Eagles' half, 4 minutes to the interval. 6 to the Eagles, 11 to the Saints. Hammond, inside ball to Perolini. Support there as the Saints drive it through. Quick play, the ball wanted. Sean Long was the man coming through there now. It's with Bobby Golding. Chris Joint, Paul Newlove. Can we see another spectacular try from the big fella? Well, that's nearly a flop there. And Turner. Goldspink straightens up, drives it, 10 metres out. Long. Saints are driving for the corner, the ball's lost. The Eagles have it. So catalogue of errors. And certainly, as we know, we've seen before, the Eagles are quite capable of going the full length of the field. Turner. He unloads, great unload there by the Eagles. Oh, that's a try all the way. Linton stops. He's going to go just to the right of the sticks. Just as I was saying, Ian, the Eagles are quite capable of going the full length of the field. They've done it before, haven't they? And this occasion, great work as they broke out of that broken play. The lost ball from the Saints on the far side. Darren Turner, an instrumental figure in the Eagles lineup, just come on as a substitution, took it up well, drove it well. Lovely slip ball to Linton Stott. He's been all over this field, Linton Stott, hasn't he? And there was nobody going to catch him. Aitchison clutched at him, but he couldn't get him. Yeah, 13 minutes after 13 minutes, Saints were 11 points to nil up, and it was looking like walking day here at Don Valley, wasn't it, for the Saints? But the Eagles have clawed back. They should have been in the lead, obviously, before the Saints got points on the board, but it wasn't. It was bad handling that cost them, and it's bad handling there that cost the Saints. Morganson gets it between the uprights, and the Eagles are in the lead for the first time. 12 points to 11. We've seen it all before, and I'm sure there'll be some stern talking by the Saints boss, Sean McRae, at half-time. We're only about 30 seconds from half-time. We've not had much stoppage in this first half. And the Eagles crowd are getting G'd up, and the drummer's going, the trumpeter's going. The Eagles kick off and fine touch, 12 metres from the Saints line. Scrum down, head and feet to the Saints, maybe the last scrum or the last action of the first half. As the coaching duo and the stat man just make their way down from just to the left of us. But the Eagles push, the Saints come out of the scrum, and it's Sean Long blistering away. Taken over there to the right-hand side, there's the half-time hooter. So the Eagles hit back where they should. Obviously psychological for them. Saints, a great start, 5 minutes gone, Newlove in for a try, blistering pace up the left flank, Long goaled it, 6-0 up, then Saints were in striking action. A drop goal from Long made it 7. A few minutes later, Sullivan went in for a try after some good work by the Saints, and the Saints were on the way at 11 points to 0. But then you can never dispel the Eagles not coming back. Great work from Sofatabua, a lovely high ball. I think it was Watson that put it up high, I'm not quite sure, either Watson or Vasila Coppola, somebody imagine, put it high, and Aitchison couldn't take it, it bobbled about. Sofatabua, the big Fijian, came up with it. Morganson goaled it. He missed a penalty goal a few minutes later, but they're just 3 minutes to the interval, right after Saints had spilled the ball in the Eagles 20. A breakaway, and it came through, and Turner linking up, and then slipped it to Stott. Aitchison couldn't grab him. He went in for the try, just to the right of the sticks. Morganson goaled it, and that's the half-time here at Don Valley. Eagles 12, Saints 11. Sheffield in the league, 12 points to 11. Well, obviously, if you're a Saints spec, you'll know that this week that David Howes has parted company with the Saints, and obviously this is just solely my opinion, as my opinion on the video goes every week. I think David Howes and Saints, obviously they parted company last Tuesday. As far as I'm concerned, it's a big loss for the Saints. The former chief administrator was brought to the Saints by the chairman at that time, Eric Ashton. I couldn't think of his title there, and he was one of the first, if not the first administrators in the game to build us up to Super League from 1995. His expertise and knowledge of our game has no equal. His no-nonsense business acumen obviously didn't find favour with part of the board or whoever at the backroom staff at the Saints, and things that went on led to him tendering his resignation. He's been asked to sign a confidentiality clause, so that tells you something, doesn't it? Read into it what you say. I mean, no one's irreplaceable. Saints, it'll be a long time before the Saints get a man of his class. But the Saints have appointed Nigel Hansford as the new chief executive. We wish him all the best. But David Howes is his own man, he'll not be manipulated. He knows what he wants, and he's a household name throughout rugby league. And as I said, 25, 30 years at the top. But our loss is somebody else's gain, and we wish him all the best in his future ventures. And as I say, that's purely my opinion. Anyway, we're underway. Saints have the possession. Andy Haig's on for Anthony Sullivan at half-time, and the Saints putting the ball deep down in the Eagles in goal area. It has to be played. And once again, the rain comes down heavily here at the Don Valley. Still warm, obviously makes the rain warmer, doesn't it? But 12-11 at half-time. Saints tackling, bolstered by a stern team talk at half-time. The Eagles have the possession, they're bringing it on the short side. Senior coming through, looking for the short ball, but he didn't get it. But the Eagles persist on the short side with Turner. Wants a quick play of the ball, looked a little suspicious. But Dale Lawton brings it up to the halfway. Last one of the sequence. Stevens puts it downfield. Just going to hang in the in-goal area. Well flighted kick, and Andy Haig has to turn, gets out of trouble. There's a Haig on for Sullivan at half time. And Aitchison, the man that has the possession. Long brings it away. Saints 30 metres away from their own line. Got to get back into this game. Important that they score first. Paul Davidson drives it up, and obviously the Eagles, they'll be boosted by that just snatching the lead just before half-time. Bobby Golding, floated ball to captain Chris Joynt. Solid tackling centre field. Martin Wood on there as well. Good ball handling player, Martin Wood. And Bobby Golding grubbers it. Crossfield, the Eagles take it well. Right back into the thick of it. Wood offloads. Paul Carr. Short side again. Strong running. Steve Malloy brings it on the short side. Good running by the Eagles. Good pressure. Stevens once again acting half back. Lawton. He's taken down Pedalini in there, along with Goldspink and Cunningham. Darren Shaw. The Saints urge to get back 10 metres from their own line. The Eagles change the direction. Turner driving through. Within a whisker. Last tackle of the sequence. Martin Wood offering the ball. Looks for the hole in the Saints defence. The Saints clamp him and hold him up. The tackle is completed. But nearly caught there, the Saints. Martin Wood. Excellent campaigner. Newloff. Awkward ball taken well by Long. Now it's with Davidson. Just dropped short before he dragged into touch. Chris Smith. Sodji, one of the tacklers there with Senior. Well, the Eagles encroaching on the sixth tackle. As Golding, a good kick, good touch finder. 15 metres from the Eagles' line, he finds touch. Head and feet to the Eagles on this time. Still 12-11, the half-time score. 4 minutes gone in the second half. Bobby Golding, hear him shouting, organising, as we know he does and can, even though he's not the captain. Chris Joynt the captain. Martin Wood, the man in possession. And the Saints tackling, it'll have to be first class. We know the Eagles can strike out of their own 20-metre area and go the full length of the pitch if needed. Lawton. Malloy. Well taken by Davidson. Well, the referee saying it was high. It was up and about the shoulder area, but it didn't look all that bad, and it took him a while for it to blow up for the tackle. Eagles in possession. Dave Watson. Been around a while, hasn't he? Stevens attacked in half. The Eagles keep the ball going. Stevens again, onto Martin Wood. Shimmies, sidesteps, tries to get through, just tries to get the opposition to lay off you. And he can scoot through there. Lawton. 20 metres from the Eagles line. From the Saints line, Eagles in possession, I should say. Senior offers the dummy. That's the turnover. Well, the ball lost and the Saints have the possession. Aitchison scampers away with it. Andy Haig. on the left flank. Injury to Sullivan. Sullivan and Martin. And the ball released by Paul Davidson. He was facing his own line. Chris Smith weaving his way through. Cunningham attacked in half. Cunningham comes on the short side. Clattered back there, Rod Doyle. Last one of the sequence. Sean Long chips it through. Watson, the man that's back there. The Eagles. Linton Stott again. Well, Stott's through. He's going to go under the post there. Aitchison's chasing him. Chris Smith. Oh, he's not. He's caught him. Well taken there by Paul Aitchison. He came back there, but the Eagles, they're going to walk in here. Watson, well, they aren't. My word. A try that they fluffed. Well, the referee's going to send somebody to the sin bin here. He's feeling for his card. He's giving somebody 10 minutes in the sin bin. Well, what's your view on that, Ian?
Paul Neal, the man going to the sin bin there, Ron, and I'm surprised about that because he's not a player I've ever known do anything untoward. I know he got sin binned earlier on this season for a fisticuffs with Graham Bradley at Bradford, but really Sheffield bombed a try there because tremendous break from Linton Stott from deep in his own half. He didn't have the pace to go quite the full length of the field, but if he looked round his shoulder, there was David Watson there, and then Dave Watson eventually got the ball from the play of the ball, got it out to Morganson, and he dropped the ball. But Sheffield have got 6 more tackles here. They've certainly come out with a lot more purpose this second half of Sheffield, and if Saints aren't careful, this game's going to slip away from them unless they can hold the line, and certainly with 12 men, they're going to find that very difficult.
Yes, they're a difficult side, Sheffield, at the best of times. Rod Doyle offers the dummy. Saints are in for the tackle. Turner from acting half. Lawton, the man driving forward, the big man. As you said before, Ian, he's attracted a lot of attention from the big clubs. Turner trying to plunder a try, but he signed up here for the Eagles anyway. His local lad, Barnsley, I think he comes from. Wood puts the ball over on the far flank. Stott's flank again. Morganson puts it inside. Wood along the line. Rod Doyle. Doyle going for the line. It's held down. The ball's loose. Saints do come up with it, I think, but the referee's going to rule the knock-on. Once again, obviously with a man down, Ian, the Saints, and Sheffield are moving them from one side to the other. I think that's a good ploy, just to see if they can put a gap in the defence.
Defending for all they're worth now, Saints. That was a tremendous last-ditch tackle from Carl Hammond. Saved the line and certainly looked to try on there. But just looking at half-time, Ron, Sheffield, I was saying about their injuries, they've at least 5 players missing from the side that won the cup. Both the wingers are missing. Pinkney is one of them. And, of course, Matt Crowther, the other, who got a bag full of tries at the start of the season. They're also missing Mark Aston, Johnny Lawless. So they really have got a side that's lacking a few of the Wembley side, and to come back from 11-0 down against Saints and do this really does speak volumes for the character of the side, and of course John Keir's coaching. But I wouldn't rule Saints out at this stage, because if they can hang on for the 10 minutes while they're down to 12, I think they might just have the firepower to come back.
Yes, I hope you're right, Ian. Not the best of hunting grounds. Apollo Perolini's being brought to the sideline here as the ball's kicked downfield. Is that no, it's gone touching goal. 20-metre restart. Perolini coming off, and Ian Pickavant's being introduced.
Just going to say, Ron, I think that substitution you've just described there is a blood bin, so it probably won't count in the makeup of the 6 that you're allowed, but it just does mean that Saints, again, the rhythm is going to be unsettled by the fact that they're having to interchange players as Sheffield come again. They're trying this inside ball, and here comes Lawton. He's really powering forward in this second half. Dale Lawton, you can see why Wigan are after him. He's a tremendous player. He was actually on loan at Wakefield last season, but Sheffield moving the ball. Wood, a bad pass, intercepted by Chris Smith. And Saints will be delighted to get possession, and they'll hope to hold on for 6 tackles just to slow down the time while they're down to 12 men.
Yes, you're right there. Chris Smith read it well. He came in for the ball, and there again, hanging on to Chris Smith, was the Sheffield defenders. And the referee, I'm saying, come on, to try and urge him to get off, but the referee was unmoved. He let it go, but the Saints have the possession. Long, Goulding. Cunningham attacked in half. Long chips it for the corner. Well, it was a nothing kick, that, wasn't it? Well taken. Linton Stott, I think the man that took it well. Nothing to it at all, that kick. Just straight into his arms, and you can't afford to give the Eagles possession like that. Darren Turner up to the halfway line. Malloy, he's done the rounds, hasn't he? Malloy, Leeds, Featherstone, Warrington. That's just three that I can think of. Watson, inside ball to Senior, just as his ankle's tapped. It was lucky there with the Saints. Watson there, great move from him. And Stevens again now, it's with Martin Wood. Dinks it through, has to be shuffled dead. The Eagles are certainly up for it, Ian, aren't they?
Yeah, Sean Long, the man knocking the ball dead there, and of course Carl Hammond once again making the crucial tackle, the ankle tap there, as the Sheffield Eagles look to be going through Keith Senior. I think he had visions of scoring in his 8th consecutive game, tries that is, and that's a tremendous effort from any player. If he gets one today, he'll be just one short of the all-time record in Super League. 9 consecutive try scoring appearances, which is set by Paul Newlove, and of course equalled last season by Leeds winger Paul Sterling.
Thanks, Ian. Another blood bin substitution here. We have Vasilakopoulos coming back on for Darren Turner.
Make the changes, John Keir, as Saints get a penalty. As you said, Vasilakopoulos went off at half-time. They've also lost Sova Tabua. You'll notice Dave Watson's playing at full-back now, and Martin Wood gone into the standoff position. So Sheffield have had to make changes, just as Sean McRae has for Saints. And we're really seeing now that in round 11 of Super League, at the halfway point, teams having to rely on the depth of squad. This is where things will be found out, possibly at the second half of the season.
Out to the squad, but Bobby Goulding has the ball for the Saints, tries to unload to the left. Good tackling, Matt. Bobby Goulding again trying to run the angle. There's nobody running with him though. He's on his own, he's on him. Cunningham at dummy half. Gone long inside ball there. Goldspink backing him up. He puts it back to Pickabans. Super sub Ian Pickabans. Burst through the tightest of defences, as this man Cunningham can. The ball's released, the Saints are keeping it going. Once again, tackled then up and moves it about. Goulding again, drawing the men in, Hammond. Davidson used as a dummy runner, it's now with Damien Smith. Last tackle of the sequence, 5 metres from the Eagles line. Goulding chips it through, touched the Eagles man. It's still on the 6th tackle, I think, as Aitchison goes through. That's going to be the turn. 4 flying helicopters here at Don Valley. Thought it was the fuzz looking for us, Ian. But the Saints there just couldn't drive through the Eagles' defence. Has really tightened up, hasn't it, as Bright Sodji comes away with it.
Yeah, showing the resilience here. The challenge comes Sheffield Eagles now. But Bobby was disappointed, I think, there that the kick was regarded to have touched the man rather than the player playing for the ball. 6 more tackles, and again would have increased the pressure on the Sheffield line, but Saints now are really good because Sheffield appear to be prepared to throw this football around in an attempt to get the victory. They probably need it, because if they lose this, I think they know that their top 5 hopes for the season are probably gone, as Gareth Stevens puts the kick downfield. Gareth Stevens, a player with a lot to prove this afternoon. He's just been named in the Welsh team against Virgin England. The witnesses Saints really pinned back.
Good work by the Eagles. A kick there, a very timely kick, and obviously a very accurate kick, just hanging up in the in-goal area. Just a a midge short at the dead ball line. And the Saints know that they've got it all to do to come away. About another minute in the sin bin for Paul Newlove, and Saints will be back to full complement. Still no scoring in this second half, still 12-11, the half-time score. And we've played, 16 minutes. Next try could be crucial. Paul Anderson going to be introduced for the Saints. As Bobby Golding puts the kick downfield, crossfield, and that's going to hang. Sodji's going to have to play it. Sodji comes from the left-hand flank over to the far side. As Paul Aitchison, probably Brett, it's Aitchison, the man that's been replaced, and Anderson on.
Yeah, big blow for Saints there. Paul Aitchison limping off, and of course a big blow for Wales as well, possibly if he's out for longer than 3 or 4 weeks. But it means Damien Smith goes to full-back, and Saints put Paul Anderson on. And as we know, Paul Anderson's a tremendous, versatile young footballer. He's been on the academy tour 2 years ago, and he's a player I think who's forced his way into the Saints first-team lineup over the last 2 seasons. Never let them down. But he has a big job to do this afternoon.
Yes, I think all the Saints have a big job to do this afternoon. 12-11 the score. The Eagles, Vasilakopoulos pushes the defenders off, going for the corner. Support on the inside once again. The Eagles may have bombed a try there, Ian, but they're moving it over. Stevens, Martin Wood opens the defence there, lovely ball, draws the defence in, slips it out, and that's the turnover. They tried the power play, but great play from Vasilakopoulos, and then Wood in the centre field. Saints lucky again.
Yes, they're really hanging on by the skin of the teeth here, Saints, but that was another chance, and another chance gone begging for Sheffield. They'll be ruining the chances that are going astray and thinking that this game might be slipping away from them. Linton Stott, once again, the man held on the 6th tackle. He's all over the field, as you say, a winger, but he's certainly not playing like a winger. He's looking for the football, and that's what all wingmen should do. Yes,
you're right, and obviously, as you said, he's a point to prove. He's said he's okay, he's stopping here at Sheffield. They're a good unit, Anderson driving through. Earlstown, Newtonley Willers lad, Linton Stott. It's Chris Smith, draws in, Carl Hammond, oh, it's Sodji! The Saints cover defence going to come over, that was right into Sodji's breadbasket. Oh, that's great tackling by Damien Smith, a try-saving tackle. The former St George centre utility player comes over.
You would have thought he would have scored that try, but you certainly would have thought he would have held the football and give Sheffield a foothold for 6 tackles there. Didn't manage that. Now Saints are in the clear. Chris Smith going all the way here for the try. They must put Saints back into the lead. They're going to outpace Willie Morgan's Fetu Tewa, sorry, the Kiwi. Beat him all, ends up for pace there, Chris Smith, the ex-Castleford man, signed in the close season, under 21 international, hoping to go all the way with Saints, and we saw why, because he's got the pace that all good wingers need.
Well, we needed that, didn't we, Ian? But that's it, Saints just hitting back there from the base of the scrum. Certainly a scrum which I was saying I didn't think it should have been our head and feed, but it was. The Saints came away with it, slipped the ball, Chris Smith, and he showed his pace, went in for his 5th try of the season, and that'll ease the Saints' cause a little bit. It certainly will if Sean Long can pop this goal over with this conversion to come. Certainly a dishevelled Saints side and a dishevelled Eagles side, as you can say, with the injuries that they've had and obviously the substitutions that's been taking place today. But the first scoring of the second half, oh, it's a good one. Sean, Bobby Golding that's taken that. Sticking to Sean Long, obviously with him being taking the goals, but he gives the high five to Sean Long there. But Bobby Golding, the regular goal kicker here at St Helens, pops that one over. 6 points to the Saints. They take the lead now by 17 points to 12. Still that 5 points in. Certainly another score wouldn't go amiss.
That's right, but Bobby again showing the value of a goal kicker there, because that wasn't an easy one, and there was some pressure on him as well, but it needed to be kicked, and he kicked it superbly. A more traditional kicker than Sean Lang, although Sean kicked 9 last week against London. Bobby, the more experienced kicker, and that could prove crucial. 17-12 to Saints now, and Sheffield know they've bombed at least 3 chances in the second half. Will that prey on their minds, or will they still have the confidence to come back again?
Yes, three chances. I mean, whether that's just second half here or not, they've second half. They've certainly bombed a bagful in the first half as well. So they've been their own worst enemies, and I'm sure John Key will give them the round of the kitchen. Once he looks at the video, once again, was it Malloy doing the spade work, drove it through, creating the gap, just twisting the ball loose, turning it in on the inside, and the Eagle just couldn't take it. Once again, a try going begging for the Eagles. 22 minutes gone of the game, 17 points to the Saints, 12 to the Eagles, head and feet to the Saints. And let's, as far as I'm concerned, let's have some more of the same. And that Chris Smith try. He linked up on the inside, Golding holding it. This time Smith stays on his wing, Long moves it out to Paul Newlove. Saints have the possession. The Eagles know that they've got to get back into this game. They trail by 5. Ian Pickavance. He was a glove-bin substitution for Apollo Perolini. Apollo Perolini's come back on, and Pickavance has come back on as a substitution for Brett Goldsmith. Just short of the halfway line. Saints bring it to the right. Bobby Golding, tactical kicker, puts it downfield. Super kicker by Golding, pegging the Eagles back 10 metres from their own line. We know he can do this. He's a great kicker, great positional kicker. But the Eagles, Ian, they're with regular monotony, can go the full length, can't they?
They can go the full length, but they can't hold the football for 6 tackles at the moment. They can't hold it for 3, and it seems to be every time they get within striking distance of the Saints line, they put it down. They had a good chance there when Rod Doyle put the chance down after Malloy. Again, to put the inside pass in, looked to be in the clear, put the chance down. But Sheffield will continue to play football. Oh, they've dropped it again. That's Fetu Tewa who's dropped the ball, the Kiwi international, and that gives Saints a great chance here, because if they get a score of any kind, even a drop goal, that would put 6 points between the sides, and I don't think Saints would allow Sheffield back a second time. But bad errors by Sheffield, and Saints will look to capitalise here with Newlove. Newlove back on the field out of the sin bin, score of 1 try, looking for his second, held about 3 metres short of the Sheffield line. Anderson now slips a pass. Oh, and Pickavance can't hold it. Now it's Watson. Out it comes. Tewa for Sheffield, and he's gone through the Kiwi. Through a tackle from Pickavance and Apollo Perolini, and just 40 metres from his own line. And Sheffield will look to try and spread Saints again. Broadbent back on the field.
Broadbent just coming back. 24 minutes gone of the second half, and Damien Smith with some good tackling. The Eagles are pressing. We know they can. From defence into attack. Stevens slips it right to a man in support. Once again, Watson. Now it's Senior. 15 metres short. Turner quickly picks it up. Turner winding his way through. Davidson wrestles him to the ground. Last one of the sequence. Watson again, and the Eagles putting the power play on Stevens. Dribbles it through. Well, it's come to a Saints pair of hands. Referee Presley looks at it. Naturally, a little bit of sun coming out here at the Don Valley after a few showers as Paul Anderson drives it up. Chris Joint moves it left. Newlove again. Solid tackling on that far flank by the Eagles. Saints persist on the short side. Bobby Golding unloads to Sean Long. Short ball to Davidson. Just short of the halfway. Last one of the sequence for the Saints. Probably go to Golding again for positional kicking. It goes to Hammond. Saints running it on the power play. Chris Smith chips it through. Comes to Eagle. Well, the Saints lay off him. Deary me. The man was there. He should have been bounced to the ground. Once again, strong running. 30 metres from the Saints line, the Eagles in possession. No spectators get behind them. Watson, drop-off ball, diagonal runner is Lawton. Quick play the ball, Turner brings it on the short side. Now it's with Broadbent, the captain. Within 15 metres now of the Saints try line. Saints lead by 5 as Turner goes for the corner. Saints search to get back onside, referee Presley's there. Doyle, Watson pirouettes, brings it back on the short side. Saints have got to get in. I've got to look at the man, get into him, bounce him to the ground. Last one of the sequence. The Eagles move it cross field. That's a lovely chip kick through. Well taken on that far side. Andy Haig, I think, the man that picks the ball up. Damien, is that Damien Smith that's broken through? Still very difficult for us to see. Chris Joint over the halfway line looking for support. Still driving is the captain. Great 20-metre burst now. Next goal for the Saints, and that'll give them the match, I feel. Centre field, attracting plenty of tacklers to him. Pickham's at dummy half, and he's going from acting half-back. Another 10 metres further forward. Cunningham. Support from Anderson. Saints just stood still now. It's with Perolini. Wood, one of the tacklers in there. Last one of the sequence. Bobby's there. Is he hanging about for the drop goal? Sean Long. It goes to Bobby Golding. No, he puts it high. To Tester. Saints still have the possession. Now the Eagles have it. What's the referee ruled? Well, he's ruled a knock on, I think. Thought that was on the sixth tackle. But he's given Saints head and feet, Ian.
Yeah, that's a crucial decision. I'm not sure whether it's exactly right. I couldn't see from here whether Sheffield put the ball down or not, but I think they must have done because they thought Stott was in the clear if he hadn't. This is a crucial head and feed for Saints. If they get this football here and score, it could wrap the game up.
Yes, it could. And they've 6 tackles to do it, haven't they? There's one down with 12 metres out. Long turns it in field. Golding. Anderson, diagonal roll. He's got to keep in field. Oh, dear me. Cardinalson, first, second tackle, and obviously Verdi in the play, and takes it over there and forced it to touch. Great tackling by the Eagles, but bad play by the Saints, even though they're in the lead at 17-12.
Criminal error there from Paul Anderson. Should just keep the ball in play there and play the 6 tackles, and even if you take the 1 point for the drop goal, you make the 6-point cushion, and at least you're on safe ground. But now Sheffield, they won't throw the towel in. We all remember the cup semi-final against Salford in March when they trailed by 10. Here they come now with Senior down the touchline side. He's going all the way. Keith Senior will take some stopping. Inside ball, it's not a good one. Sodji, oh, he's fumbling it. Sodji, the second time he's fumbled. He's got Senior on the outside. Oh, and Sheffield have managed to bomb that somewhere or another. I don't know how, but they're still with the chance. And the whistle has gone. There's going to be a penalty. But how on earth did Sheffield bomb that try there? Keith Senior had the chance and Sodji couldn't hold it, but here they come again with Tewa, goes out the far side this time. Linton Stott cuts inside, that'll be his second try, and Sheffield will be with him with the point of Saints with a kick to come. Well, that's been coming for some time, to be fair on, and they certainly did pop a chance, but they managed to atone for it on the other side.
Well, they did. It's unbelievable here. The handling errors that Sheffield, the tries that they bombed, they could have had, what, if they'd have converted them, about 36 points that's gone a begging, at least. But Linton Stott went over there, down here, great run from Senior.
But if he kicks this one, he puts the Eagles in front at 18-17, and remember, a week ago Sheffield had a kick like this to win the game at Warrington. They missed it and finished up drawing. So what can Martin Wood do with this? Right-footed, the cheers will tell you from the far side that Sheffield have taken the lead again, 18-17, and really we're going to get another fantastic finish in Super League, and it really seems to be the way of the Super League number 3, that all the games are ending like this season. Tremendous football we're seeing.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's certainly into your seats. 18-17 the Eagles lead. They beat us here at Don Valley 14-12 last season, and the season before Saints managed to complete the double at Nosey Road. They won handsomely, 68 points to 2, and then in a high-scoring affair at Cardiff, which was classed as a home tie for the Eagles, the Saints won by 43 points to 32. That's how it goes, but we've got 8 minutes left and counting. And we've certainly got a game on here, haven't we?
We certainly have, Ronnie. You mentioned that game at Cardiff, 43-32, and that was the way the game seemed to be played in 1996. Everybody said there was too much of a touch and pass feel about Super League 1, and it's certainly tightened up now in Super League 3. We've got defences very much on an even keel with the attack, and we're getting scores like this, 18-17, which I think most people prefer. But Saints are going to have to pull something out of the bag here to save the 2 points, which really seemed theirs for the taking when they led by 11-0, and really could have gone 13-0 up when Sean Long missed the kick at goal. But Sean Long has just come off the field now, replaced by Tommy Martin. This will probably be the last throw of the dice by Saints. They know that Tommy's a match break winner, a game breaker as they say. The kick downfield, Soji, not the safest man with his hands this afternoon, but he takes that football, tackled by Chris Smith, and it'll be Dave Watson driving the ball from his own line. Where are the Eagles forwards? Because it's the backs who are having to do it. Here's Senior, he's taking it out of the 20-yard area. Tackled by Tommy Martin, plays the ball quickly, comes now to Watson. Watson, an erratic character, he can pass the ball, he can play football, he can make a silly error. The Saints will be looking for one of those to try and get the football. But here's Broadbent, safe as houses usually. Takes the ball up almost to the 40-metre line, plays the ball now to Stevens, comes again to Rod Doyle, almost on the halfway line, on the 5th tackle. John Keir will be pleased with this. The kick by Stevens, puts it in the corner, that makes Damien Smith turn and chase to his own in-goal area. It won't run dead, won't this? They'll have to play it. And so Sheffield have got the Eagles, have got Saints exactly where they want them.
There didn't seem any urgency there, did there, as Damien Smith went back over. Andy Haig was there as well, but Damien Smith must have said it's mine. There just doesn't seem that urgency in the Saints ranks, and we've only 6 minutes to go for the from the game to the final hooter, and Saints trail by 1. As Ian was saying earlier on, it's essential that they win today, the Eagles. Obviously, it's essential that the Saints do as well. They're up there at the right end of the table, but all points are valuable. Long cut-out pass to Carl Hammond. Hammond inside ball to Chris Smith. He'll have to take the tackle. He wants to release it, but he'll have to take the tackle there. The Eagles forced to get back onside. They're all in front of the referee as the Saints move downfield. Paul Anderson releases it. Chris Joint. Well, directly dead. Nothing kicked that in, was it?
Well, it was a drop kick actually, Ron, from Tommy Martin, who's going for the 1 point, which would have shared the spoils again for Sheffield, second week running, but no, it was just wide. It was worth the try, I suppose, from that distance. I think it was on the 6th, so it would have levelled the matters, but Saints, time running out on them.
It is running out. We know Sheffield are no duffers, Ian, don't we? I mean, they've lost at home to Leeds. That was a disputed decision, wasn't it? 24 points to 23 they lost. They lost at home to Halifax, 28 points to 22. Away to London, 26-22. So we know that they're there. And obviously last week, 18 points apiece against the Warrington Wolves. They're beating the Saints here, 18 points to 17 today. Time running out. We've got 4 minutes of normal time. Saints haven't got the possession. The Eagles have. That's loose play, is it? It's gone to Soji. It was knocked forward. Now it's gone forward. A forward pass given. I didn't know the ball had actually touched the ground and it was a knock on. But referee Presley saying it's a forward. It's a scrum down anyway. Saints head and feed. 4 minutes, and have the Saints got the character to go the full length? Certainly the Eagles tackling has been exceptional, but the chances that they've bombed, if they do lose today, they'll look at those chances, and obviously it's a catalogue of errors. The spectators, the Eagles spectators, are trying to get behind them and rally them and keep them on blob. 18-17 they're winning, so they've nothing to do, have they? Anderson speculated to Hammond. Hammond takes the tackle 30 metres from the Eagles line. Smith attacked in half. Sloppy play the ball, but tidied up. And now it's Ian Pickavance. Eagles urge to get back. Cunningham scampering away. Is it Cunningham? Well, perilously close to the touchline and forced in. Whether the tackle had been completed, yes, Kieran Cunningham, he's looking. He thought the tackle was completed and it was dragged in. But there again, time running out. And the pressure on the Saints. No pressure on the Eagles now, Ian. They're head and feed.
Yeah, they'll definitely try and slow it down if they can, Ron, but I think Kieran Cunningham was unhappy with the decision. He thought held had been called and it should have been play the ball, but instead it's a Sheffield head and ball on their own line. as you say, time slowly ticking by. That was a very important set of 6 for Saints. They could have played the 6 and gone for the 1-pointer again, but Sheffield now will slowly play the ball and drive the ball out from their own line and try and eat up the time.
Yeah, there's been things good, obviously, with some of the Saints performances, saying that there's been trouble at team level. Now, as I said before, we have David Howe's gone. Whether this will filter through to the team or whatever, I don't know. But Saints come here, and once again, not the happiest of hunting grounds for the Saints. The Don Valley, 18-17, Eagles in possession. Well, that's a poor play of the ball, isn't it? Martin Wood puts it downfield, right round to Andy Haig, and he's going to come centre field. Well, the referee in there, he's obviously given a high tackle. Didn't look a lot in it from our angle, but the kick by Tommy Martin to touch, a good 20-yarder, and Saints now 40 metres from the Eagles line with it all to do.
Yep, this will be the game breaker or it'll be game maker for Saints, because they've got to do it in this next 6, I think. Otherwise the game is gone as they play the ball through Goulding. It comes out from Martin. And they've lost it. That's a killer blow for Saints. That will really cost them dear. I feel that they had the chance there on, and they've dropped the ball.
Well, looking for support was Anderson. Well, Saints have the ball. Not lining up correctly, not one behind the other to play the ball. I'm sure the Eagles are going to go for goal here, Ian. That's it, a cardinal sin. Time running out, about 30 seconds of normal play on our watch, and they're going to eat away the clock, aren't they? You can't blame them. I mean, bad play there. The Saints should have been following the man with the ball, should have been supporting the man. He wanted to unload it. As you were saying, Ian, there, it was make or break, and nobody was there. They just look a little lacklustre, don't they?
Very disappointing that they didn't show enough urgency, I don't think, with knowing full well that was probably going to be the last 6 of the game. And as you rightly say, Sheffield will go for goal here, not really caring whether they kick it or not, but just knowing that they'll eat up the clock, and you know, if they kick it, the 3 points clear, but if not, they'll eat up the clock, and it's almost time. So Martin Wood, he kicked the first one, surprisingly going for goal in some eyes with this one, but he is a kicker of some repute. He has kicked them before. He's kicked one this afternoon from 1. If he kicks this, it's 2017. And Sheffield Eagles could be on course here for their first home victory of the season in Super League. He's missed it. He's missed it, but he's eaten up some time. And there goes the hooter. And so, Sheffield Eagles get the first home league win of the season. And Saints, after a little revival of 2 successive wins, have come grinding to a halt here, losing by a point run.
Yes, disappointing performance, obviously after being 13 points, 11 points up, and it should have been 13 points up, but they was in the lead. The Eagles were at half-time. They got a late try by Stott, who's been all over this arena. 12-11 was the half-time score. It was 19 minutes before any score happened in the second half, and that was a great break by Chris Smith after a scrum which I felt should have been a feed to the Eagles, but Chris Smith went all the way. He powered in at the corner. Goulding converted it, and Saints were in the lead at 17 points to 12, but they couldn't capitalise on it. Error after error for the Eagles. Again, tries that went to begging, but then it was that man Stott again after some good work by the Eagles. Over here, they come perilously close over here from Senior. He tried to do the right thing, put it inside for Sodji. The ball was dropped, then it was transferred over. I'm sure it was a big speculator from Rod Doyle. Went over into the corner there, and Stott came in on an angled run and touchdown for the 4-pointer. Wood Goldie, that gave the Eagles the lead once again at 18 points to 17, and they withheld the storm from the Saints and came through for the 2 points. 2 points lost for the Saints. Maybe, mind you, Eagles, if they'd have capitalised on all the chances, they would have won the game handsomely. Anyway, it's farewell from the Don Valley here. Sheffield Eagles win by 18 points to 17. You've been with Micron Video with Ian Proctor and Ron Hoof. We're signing off. See you next week for the next game.
tap forward.